And I'm going to shrink you guys up later, Gators. Okay, so I'm Crystal Mason Cup. I've been with doTERRA for just around 4 years, actually pursuing and helping people for almost 3 years and loving every step of it. I have a tremendous passion for helping people find a natural way to take care of their body, to find solutions to help decrease inflammation and pain and struggles. Because when I first started, I went through the gamut and couldn't find anything that helped me. And when I finally found lifelong vitality, my life started to turn around. And so that's what we're going to share with you tonight. We have this 8-week wellness series for people who have an account with us. And that's just a wholesale account. So if you're not already having a wholesale account, we can help you, or the person that invited you can help you, but you're always welcome to come learn with us and we will help you. So we will cycle through these 8 wellness classes every Monday night at 8 p.m. So if you missed one, it's okay. We're going to go through them again. And if you come to all 8, we're going to get you an awesome prize. So definitely connect with the person that invited you or that enrolled you. Tonight, we're going to talk all about not just lifelong vitality, but really how our bodies are designed, what it takes to get our bodies moving, and how what we put in makes such a huge difference. I think you can appreciate that. We know that in the US, maybe you don't know this because I actually just learned it maybe within the last 6 months, our country allows 30 different chemicals to go in our food that other countries have completely banned. That tells you something big. We are also, in our country, we have the highest budget for healthcare, and we rank in the lowest when it comes to disease rates. So we're not doing that great, right? The budget does not reflect how our health is being maintained. And so that is the US in general, every bit of the US as an average. We just have a high amount of disease. And that all has to do with largely what we are pumping into our body as fuel. How can we measure wellness? Our bodies are designed in a specific manner. And if we are not mobile, if we're struggling, if we have aches and pains, if we have brain fog, if we have memory problems, if we have nervous problems, emotional problems, thyroid problems, hormone fluctuations, if we have skin problems, if we have digestive problems, can we not measure our wellness by those symptoms? We really can. Some of those things are beyond our reach, so to speak. They're beyond what we can do, right? Beyond our control. There's a family history of medical problems. There might be a predisposition to certain diseases, and everybody has specific markers in their DNA, and some of those can predispose you to disease. But some of the things, and probably on a larger scale than we give it credit, are within our control. What do we put in our body? What is in our diet? What are our exercise habits? Are we mobile? Are we immobile? Are we sedentary? Are we getting ourselves going? Because motion is lotion. How are our stress levels? Are that some of those things we can train ourselves with our mental habits, with controlling our thoughts and doing training on mindset, and also recognizing sleep patterns and adjusting when we need to. There are a lot of different obstacles that are going to impede with wellness in our modern society. We have one of the highest levels of stress. Our country is known for a high level of stress. In our not so distant past, you would see commercials for this. You would see commercials of people laying on the beach and being really relaxed. And that was idolized. We actually revered that. We knew that when somebody was able to go on vacation and relax, that meant that they had made it. Now that has actually flipped. When you see a commercial, you'll probably notice this now much more now that I've said it. If someone is not working hard or doing 2 jobs or really busy, they're not successful. So that high level of stress is actually idolized. We don't recognize it as stress. We recognize it as success. But those things cause tremendous wear and tear on our body. The lack of exercise because we don't make it a priority. The lack of sleep because we're up all hours of the night or we have screens in our face. The nutrient deficiencies that are caused in our diets. We'll go into this a little bit more in a minute. And the exposure to toxins. We know that there are over 300 chemicals, not just in our food, but in general, that are banned in other countries as well. Things that we put into lotions, into supplements that are over the counter, into simple things like basic dryer sheets, things that we do not necessarily, our bodies don't work well with. They're actually illegal in other countries, and we in the US are overloaded with them. So let's talk about deficiencies. I'm just going to very, very quickly go through this because you can go to the ewg.org and look at this. In the US, what we're suggested to have for our vitamins and minerals is a certain amount, right? But in our diets, we typically get a lot less than we think, even when we're making smoothies, even when we're trying to get the good fruits and vegetables. What has happened is in the US, the food quality is not as good as it used to be. It's not like going straight to the farm and getting fresh fruits and vegetables. We now have advanced technology that allows us to mass produce items, mass produce fruits and vegetables, mass produce processed foods. And in turn, while that can be really great because it feeds more people, it also depletes all the nutrients that our body desperately needs. So what happens when our daily nutrient requirements are not met? Okay, well, more serious issues can arise. The existing conditions that we have can worsen. We definitely will have unpleasant problems like weakened bones and cardiovascular problems, or autoimmune disease will flare up. And if you are in the Skinny Jeans group, I feel certain that you've recognized, especially today, we talked about omega-6s being very high in the US diet, but those are actually the worst ones for us. We do need some, but when we have too many, it causes inflammation. The body is deprived of the vitamins, minerals that we need for two reasons. One, we're not getting the quality of the food that we need. And when we allow stress to be prevalent in our life, stress is normal, but when you have an exorbitant amount of stress, it depletes those nutrients. So this is in turn why we would talk about supplementation. We want to talk about that overall wellness, that desire to live, that feeling like you had your life back. We make up any deficiencies that are in our food quality by using supplements. It's going to address different health problems. Maybe you have high inflammation. Maybe you're not exactly sure what's going on. Maybe you have mood influx. Different things. Typically, we start with the symptoms, and we'll try to manage the symptoms. But when we get to that root cause, we can really make a huge difference. We know our gut is a huge part of how our body maintains good health. And if our gut is messed up, that's our second brain, right? That's our mama, so to speak. And if our gut is messed up, we aren't going to be able to achieve the level of health that we would like. We're going to combine that with exercise and healthy eating with those supplements to make a healthy lifestyle. So how do we cultivate this healthy lifestyle? Some of you in here have already embraced this, and it is simply this: eating healthy, not eating late at night, not grabbing sugar when you're hungry, making sure you have things that are prepared, that are healthy and going to give you those nutrients, and then exercising. An average adult needs about 30 minutes a day outside of their normal routine. So if you normally walk the stairs, that doesn't count. You got to do a little bit extra. Daily healthy habits. And in our group, if you're in Crystal Clear Oilers, hopefully you've gotten the message. This is probably the number one thing we talk about is daily healthy habits. It takes a long time, right? It takes a long time to create those. And you know what else it takes? Accountability. So that's grabbing a friend in the group, grabbing a friend that you know, and setting up something together so you can continually be checking on each other and meeting your own goals. Healthy supplementation, we're going to dive into that. So I would, at this point, if we were in a class, be like, hey, how many of you tried the lifelong vitality? I'm going to save that for the end because this is my favorite part. I love this job because of how many times I get a text that tells me they didn't think that it was possible to feel the way that they feel now. And the vitamin pack is a bioavailable whole food supplement that is just designed to just to promote the energy levels that we need, that we long for, that longevity that we desire in our life, and supporting a really just a natural wellness and just stability, a great foundation that will go throughout our life. And so I always think of it as slowing down the aging process, right? We're slowing it down because we don't feel our age anymore. Lifelong Vitality has a tremendous amount of benefit. There are 3 different bottles we're going to go through. And one of the main ones is Alpha CRS Plus. We'll get into that in a second, but it provides antioxidant support in the whole pack, immune support, energy, definitely the nutrients that we're lacking, and they're very, very safe. If you were to take every single nutrient that doTERRA slam packed into these vitamins and supplements, it would cost over just about, I think it's like $267 in the equivalent amount of product to be able to put into those vitamins. They knew when they were creating it that yes, it was pricey, and yes, they were going to take a loss in the beginning on what they were making because it was very high quality. But what they knew that is in the long run, when people starting to feel better, that this was going to be a huge part of everyone's life. And that's been proven true. So doTERRA, this is our 12th year of being awesome as a company, and they completely proved themselves right because doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality is the #1 product, hands down, that doTERRA offers. It's basically, let me just go through Alpha CRS Plus. I feel like this is the one that really changed my body. When our cells are normally, they know what to do. Our bodies are designed to have this awesome inflammatory process. And when your body's overloaded with toxins and inflammation, and what might be a toxin for me might not be a toxin for you, but I can tell you from experience and from talking to person after person is generally the diet is poor in the beginning. And the more you pump in the bad stuff, the more inflammation happens, because the more inflammation happens, your bodies the cells forget to die off. And Alpha CRS Plus comes in and it helps the cells to be reminded to do their job. It gets rid of all those antioxidants, or gets rid of all of the oxidation, the free radicals with the antioxidants. So Alpha just means first, CRS is just cellular renewal system, and that plus is because they had some improvements upon that product. So I already explained this a little bit, so I don't think we need to go through anymore, but it does protect the DNA, and it is a great way to get the extra energy that we desire. Here are some of the key ingredients. I am going to challenge you, take a screenshot. Take a screenshot right this second and go look these products up. Google them, or I have been using one called DuckDuckGo. If you want to go look at your search engine and look up some awesome things, check these products out. Frankincense, Boswellia serrata is frankincense resin. Bioculin is an amazing anti-inflammatory. Milk thistle is known for its properties for helping the liver, helping the body. Resveratrol, an amazing product to help with circulation. We could go on and on, right? Turmeric for pain, pineapple anti-inflammatory, pomegranate seed extract. Oh my gosh. That has omega-5 in it, which we really don't find in many other places. So you're going to have a powerhouse of products in that one little bottle. It does help support the function of the DNA. It helps with energy. It helps actually supporting the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse. It helps with healthy immune function and even brain clarity. Now, XEO Mega, we spoke about in our Skinny Jeans group. This is a product packed full of all the omegas 3, 6, and 9 that our body need. Comes from plant and marine, and it has 9 essential oils that makes it a patented formula that allows our body to work fantastically. So it's going to help with brain function and skin. So if you have itchy skin, it's going to help out there. It's going to help get our circulation going with the highest quality of omegas that you can find. It does provide our body with the fatty acids that is necessary and essential to run great. XEO Mega Ingredients, I talked about this already, but the oils that are in here are clove, frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, and German chamomile. Peppermint, ginger, and German chamomile are actually the tummy tamer formula, and all 3 of the bottles that we are talking about have a tummy tamer in there. So if you've worried at all about having upset stomach because the big pill, the one a day that you take bothers your tummy, you won't have to worry about with Lifelong Vitality, because it is very gentle on the tummy and it doesn't sit there like a rock. Okay, so here are some of the benefits. Definitely immune function, cardiovascular, joint health. This is probably one of my favorite ones. And if you start to go to the doctor with problems, what I find is the #1 supplement that they will recommend is fish oil. And this is what you get. But this is high quality, so you don't have to taste it. No burping, right? V-Omega is the vegan formula, so it's all plant-based for omegas if you're a vegan. And Microplex VMz, this is just vitamins and minerals. This is that 3rd bottle in the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It has 22 different vitamins and minerals, 12 servings of fruits and vegetables, and it's ground up basically like baby greens. And so all they do is like grind it up, and then when our body processes it, within 20 seconds, it starts to be recognized as broccoli, Brussels sprout powder, dandelion leaf powder, all the wonderful things that we need to get all the vitamins, minerals that are absolutely essential to keep our body functioning in a healthy manner. So if we're not going to get it from our low quality food, we definitely need to supplement it in. If you're anything like me, where for a long time, I just dealt with the headache. I just dealt with the little achiness in my lower back or the achiness in my knees. I didn't want to take the ibuprofen because I know what it does to my gut. And so instead, I just dealt with it. That dealing with it causes tremendous stress on our body. And anytime we have an overload of stress, we deplete all of these vitamins and minerals to be able to help our body work. And this allows us to get those back in our body. It is a botanical form, which means it's all from the plant. They are not going to put anything synthetic in here. They're not man-made vitamin A or man-made B2. They are actually from the plant. So they are going to work in our body perfectly because our body recognizes those things. There are enzymes in here that aid in digestion. We're going to talk about some more digestive stuff in a second, and has another tummy tamer in here. I mentioned that. So there is a vegan formula as well. And combined, these 3 bottles work perfectly together and kind of like a symbiotic relationship. They work together to help us with healthy eating, great to help us get us motivated to exercise, help us to reduce toxins, help us to, and honestly, it's just informed self-care is when we know something is good, we do it, right? And we know something's bad, we don't do it. Okay? And this is getting us on the right track. So lifelong vitality, let's talk about safety. It's really quite easy. My 12-year-old has been taking it since he was 10 because it's just whole food. That's it. You can take them when you're pregnant. They're actually highly recommended to take when you're pregnant as a prenatal because it has everything you need, and then you would just add a little bit of folate to make sure you get enough of that. But for the dosage, we can go through it. It's 4 capsules per bottle. There is a shelf life on the bottle, but they last 30 days, and so it's a 30-day supply. And if you do have health conditions, we always recommend that you work with your doctor to make sure that they know what you're doing, because anytime you're on medications, and you're starting to take care of your body, sometimes those medications might need to be adjusted. I've had lots of people start adjusting blood pressure medicines and getting off of acidy type medicines. There is a 30-day challenge for this. I'm not done, almost though. Okay, so that was the basic ones. Oh, some more people want in. Let's let them back in. There you go. All right, so sorry if I missed some of you guys. We're gonna go through some of the products that we can add on. So if you've ever gotten the Lifelong Vitality Pack, you know that they do bundling. And so I love this because we already mentioned how much you can save. So if you're already having a whole bundle of different supplements, you won't need those. That Lifelong Vitality covers it. But when you choose to order anything else with it, there's a couple things that you can add on. And one of my favorite ones is the Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex. This is what we would use, and I'm going to try to switch the view. This is what we would use instead of ibuprofen. Okay, so this would be, think of it as something very gentle for your tummy, and it's extra hinge support. All right, and so I'm going to show you what it looks like, because it is a tummy tamer. It has tummy tamer in it, but it's just brown, and it has frankincense resin and turmeric resin. And at the end, I would love for anybody to actually, if anybody wants to say right now, very quickly, if they've used these. I know they were out of stock for just a little while, and a couple people messaged me, do you have extra? So if you want to share about those, feel free.
I don't know that my mom's on here, but she hurt her knee while we were hiking in Hawaii, and she was taking like Motrin or Tylenol every day, and she started taking the Deep Blue Polyphenol blend, and doesn't need to take that anymore.
Awesome.
So she's doing a lot better with it.
That's exciting. That's perfect. Exactly what I was looking for, because anytime we can get rid of the NSAIDs or anything that's inflammatory that will mess up the lining of the gut is better, right? So I'm glad your mom found that. A couple other people wrote in the comments, so Christy loved them too. This one, I have a Terrazyme. If somebody else wants to talk, feel free. Terrazyme.
I have a question about the Deep Blue.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Just really quick, is that something that can be taken daily?
Yeah, you can take it daily. It's very safe.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. The Terrazyme, okay, there you go. Okay, so Terrazyme, how many of you know that this is my best friend? Yes, right? This is my best friend. Okay, so I have food sensitivities, like super horrible reactions to certain foods. Kelly's with me in a restaurant when I accidentally ate some, and I was like, wait a minute. What? And had to run to the car, right? This will help me go from 5 or 6 hours of severe pain, and sometimes 3 days of pain, and then 2 or 3 days of joint pain down to like 30 minutes of distress. Okay, so this is just digestive enzymes. Our body completely at a certain age, about 29, and if you've had a poor diet maybe before that, stops producing digestive enzymes. And if we don't have digestive enzymes, we cannot dissolve the food and the nutrients that we need to be able to absorb them correctly. Judy, did you say, is this the one Terrazyme you take for osteoporosis? You can write in the comments, because my mom takes this as well for osteoporosis with the bone nutrient complex, because it helps to absorb calcium. All right, because enzymes have to break it down. And that is another one that you normally can add on to your vitamin pack. Right now they're in back stock or out of stock. Get it? Because we'll blame everything on COVID. Okay. All right, so this is probiotic. Let's see, chronic shoulder pain, and wanted to get it for him. Yes, Maria, that would be perfect. Deep Blue Complex. So the PB Assist Plus, this is just probiotics, and it has a prebiotic fiber and a probiotic fiber, and it looks like a little green alien. And I mentioned in the video that our gut is like our second brain, right? Our gut is our mama. And if our gut is out of balance or out of whack, we can really struggle, right? And so we want to make sure that we're pumping back in it high quality bacteria, basically. We want the bacteria in there that's going to help our body do the jobs that it needs to do. And so I'm going to tell you a tiny bit about the probiotics, because it's not like one you get over a store. If you're taking one over the counter, the likelihood of it being a real probiotic or that it's viable by the time it reaches your small intestine is not high. So we want to make sure it reaches where it needs to go. The probiotic has 6 strains of bacteria that are going to help our body. If you want to know them specifically, just message me. And it promotes healthy colonization. So there's a prebiotic fiber in there that allows the bacteria to grow in an optimal environment. Okay. And by doing that, it allows us to populate that GI tract, and it allows our body to work much better. So it's going to also in turn help digest the food, increase energy, decrease brain fog, and help so much whenever it comes to immune function and how we fight things off. Okay. Super, super good. We actually take TerraZyme, 1 with each meal, or I like to do it on an empty stomach at night and in the morning. And then probiotics, we do 1 to 3 throughout the day, depending on your own gut health. So 1 in the morning or at night, or 1 with each meal, whatever you prefer. It's really what your body needs. I think you pay attention to that. It's going to be the best thing for you. All right. 2 more. Turmeric, you can't add on, but I felt like if I don't mention this, I'm doing you a disservice. Turmeric capsules, we can get turmeric oil, and it is fantastic, especially for inflammation, even for skin. And we can also get the turmeric powder at the store, right? But this is both combined in a double chambered capsule, so that we can get that anti-inflammatory, which is huge, right? Because if we have an overload of inflammation, our body reacts in a lot of different ways. We all react a little different, but we get the anti-inflammatory all the way down into our gut where it needs to be. And in turn, this is absorbed, I think it's 77% absorption rate, as if you have just the oil and you were taking internally. It does some great things, but it's not going to absorb as much as both together. All the studies show that by combining the powder and the oil together, it multiplies it like 11 times how much your absorption rate is. So these have been great for a lot of people. I know a couple people, like they use the deep blue polyphenol, and a couple people are like, this is theirs. This is the one that they use. So like I said, play with your supplementation. All right. TerraZyme, Judy, you asked that. They are in the process of desperately trying to get it back for us. So as soon as I know, you will know. And I think right now things are just up in the air because of everything that's going on. All right, Mito 2 Max. Now, this is an add-on. They kind of market it like extra energy, right? Because it says energy and stamina complex, but if you look at the ingredients, it's for adrenal fatigue. Do you ever find yourself waking up in the middle of the night like several times, or not being able to fall asleep, or maybe waking up at 5 in the morning and not being able to fall back to sleep? That is probably your adrenals are crashing. And I had someone on here tell me a trick today that my mother-in-law told them, because she's like the supplement guru. I'm not kidding. She loves the supplements. She probably knows way more than I do about supplements. And she's been treating my father-in-law for a couple years now and gotten him off all kinds of meds with these exact supplements. And Mito 2 Max, she gave a little tip to, but I want somebody else to tell it. Let me see. Kim, are you on here? Let me see. I think you're muted. You want to share what you told me?
Yeah, she told me about the adrenal fatigue, and I have that with my adrenal gland, and she's told me to start taking 1 at night before I go to bed, and it's helped. I've been doing that for about a week or more now, and it's helped a lot.
Yay! So today she told me that's been a game changer. So she's actually woke up with energy instead of being fatigued. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I think that's probably what Patty would have said too, right? Do you think that's what you would have said? Pat, do you want to share your lifelong vitality testimony with us? You're muted, yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, I don't even remember how many years ago now.
I think it's only been 2.
I was sick for so long that I was sick and tired of being sick. And I had begun to get better. I was depressed because I'd been sick so long. Those of you that have had long-time illnesses understand what I'm talking about. And Crystal kept saying, try the LLV, Pat. You need to get healthy inside. And I said, it's a lot of money. And then I realized it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And I said, okay, I'll try it for 30 days. And I circled the date on my calendar. And I took it religiously. And a week went by. And 2 weeks went by. And I was into the 3rd week. And I said, okay, Crystal, I know where you live. I'm going to get my money back, girl. And shortly after that, I was out cleaning my patio with pressure washing my patio, and just, I had all this energy. And my neighbor Cheryl across the street, I call her my oily neighbor now because she oils with us. She called me, she said, Pat, where did all that energy come from? I want some of whatever it is you got. And I mean, just try and get my money back now. I love my LLV. The energy, the brain fog, I was just so much better. And you would think I had learned my lesson, but during COVID-19, I spoke with Crystal and I said, oh, I'm so done. I am so tired. I can't remember anything. In fact, we had made a date and I didn't remember. And it was in my phone and our messages. I wasn't me. And Crystal said, okay, have you been getting enough sleep? Have you been doing this, doing that? You're taking your LLV, right? And I said, well, sometimes, I just had gotten off the beaten path with all that was going on. My mind was just, and I said, I know better than that. And I have been consciously trying to take my LLV regularly, and I'm better. I mean, you would think. We know after doing these, I'm in my 3rd year. I should have learned by now, but anyway, LLV gave me my life back. It really, really did. And I just wish everybody would give it a try. Just give it a try. It's worth the 30 days. You'll get your money back. You know where Crystal lives if it doesn't help.
You're so silly. Yes. Thank you so much, Pat. I really appreciate it. I love hearing your story because I remember it very well.
Really? I was just dragging around, was I not?
Mm-hmm.
I was just about in the grave.
I think we've all fallen off the beaten path once or twice and then got right back on.
I'm on forever now.
I know, girl. Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing. You're awesome. Does anyone else want to share anything before we go? I'm gonna switch my screen, and then some of you can sit on here for a second. But I want to take any more questions from you.
If I could say something, Crystal, I got on late. I'm sorry. I actually fell asleep. So if I look a little sleepy, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Les woke me up and said, aren't you supposed to be to class? But I just want to tell you how much all of the doTERRA supplements have done for us. And I think you referenced this earlier, that Les will be 86 in 2 weeks, and he doesn't take a single prescription the doctors were amazed. He had to take OxyContin for 6 years for back pain, and he hated it. He did not like being on it. It didn't really even help that much after so long of a time. So we were able to get him off of that using nothing but supplements. He tapered off of them and increased the supplements, and we used oils as well. And now he takes nothing. And I don't take anything except one synthroid pill, not synthroid, I'm sorry, Armour thyroid pill that I have to take since I didn't know, but when my doctor put me on it, I have to take it the rest of my life. But the supplements are amazing. I love them. I set them out for us once a week for Les and myself and my brother, who has had malignant melanoma. He's been on them for 2 years now, and he's completely clear of his cancer. They just really have been life-changing. And the best part about it is, by sharing my doTERRA with other people, we get the supplements paid for in full. We get more than they cost every month. So it's like they're all free now. That didn't start right away, but you do work up to that. So I just encourage you, if you want to use more of the supplements, share your doTERRA and get more commission, and then they're free. So thank you for letting me talk.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I didn't even think to say that, but I do have right now the joy of sharing oil. So if you can stick around, definitely hang out for another 5 minutes or so. And I'm going to share with you basically what Patty just said. And
Good.
yeah, just kind of what is a pipeline and residual income and how we've been able to create that. And
Crystal,
yeah, go ahead, Pat.
I would like for Patty to talk about when she was in the hospital with her brain bleed and they wanted her to stop taking her vitamins, and they did the research.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Patty, do you want me to, I can probably just tell him, yeah, she did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she did. She was in the hospital. Golly, it feels like an eternity ago. I think it was last year, one whole year from last year. And it was spontaneous brain bleed. And they basically were thinking it was her supplements because they had seen that before. But they took her supplements and tested them at MUSC, which is a research hospital, and came back and told her, you need to keep taking those. And then her doctor, when she went to see him at a follow-up, said, how do I get these vitamins? So he had told his wife, and she was like, get us those vitamins because they are so good. They are good. All right, guys. Thanks for suggesting that. I always love that too. I feel like there's always something we can, hear and learn. There's always something. Let me see where I'm at. Make sure I'm here. Okay. All right. I'm going to skip through a couple things because we already went through all this. This is the basic class. But we're going to talk about the joy of sharing oils just for a couple minutes. And like Patty said, she now can pay for her oil, her vitamins, all her supplements for both she and her husband for free. And it all started because, well, really it just was a why. Like something had happened. She started using the vitamins and the oils, and it just sparked this passion in her because they had worked so well for her that she wanted to share with every person she could meet because there was a solution for them and they didn't have to deal with it any longer or add another pill to their regimen. And I'm just going to share with you really quickly what a pipeline is and what that residual income is and what doTERRA can offer you. doTERRA is a network marketing company. Honestly, I don't see how it could possibly work any other way because when I first got oils, it was not intuitive. I was very skeptical. I had never really heard of it. And I thought, how can a plant heal you? It just was not on my radar. Then I started the vitamins, and peppermint started to help my headache. So it was like a complete game changer. And for us, it was recognizing that yes, we wanted some extra things in our life. And if I could just pay for my oils, that would have been great. So this man, his job literally was to haul buckets of water from a nearby water source to the village, and people would pay for that water. So he had job security because everyone needed water, but he did not have job flexibility where he could, or time freedom, because if he needed extra money, he had to work extra hauling bucket days, you know, extra trips, and he couldn't take time off if his family was sick, and he couldn't take time off for vacation because they needed that money. And after a while, he was tired of doing that. So he said, you know what, I'm going to build a pipeline. So he didn't quit his day job. He continued to work really hard. And then early in the day and late in the evening after he would work his normal route, he would start building that pipeline from the water source back to his house. And after a few short years of working hard, he was able to turn on that spigot. And what that did was created a residual income. That hard work for a few years helped him keep in that money flow. That money kept coming because he no longer had to haul the buckets every day. He could simply turn on the faucet. So if he needed to go on a vacation, simple enough, he could ask a neighbor to come turn on that water. Super easy. And if you're going to partner with a company, you should probably know a little bit about it. doTERRA is their mission. They have a motto called "Pursue the Pure." Their mission is to bring the highest quality essential oils to the world. They actually came from another company, and their mission just kind of broke apart because their vision was that they could help other people around the world by doing this, and in turn have that purity, because those pure oils, that potent plant matter, really mattered to get to a cellular level for us. So they work hand in hand with farmers throughout the world. Every time we use a bottle, this always gets me, because their mission is not just to give us those oils, but every time we use a bottle, my friend just got back from Kenya a couple months ago, and she told the man, I am so proud of what you're doing, because she saw the farm there. They were just small little farms. And the man looked at her and said, "You're proud of me. I'm proud of you." And he said to her,
What happened?
if you did not do what you're doing, I wouldn't have this job. And so we both cried a little bit, and it was just a really powerful realization that in 12 years, doTERRA has become the biggest essential oil company in the world. They have a retention rate that far precedes any other networking company. And what that means is 65% of the time, people come back to buy more oils every 3 months they order at minimum. They have a team of executives that care not only about the mission, but the people. They are a debt-free company, so they can give a lot of money to the Healing Hands Foundation and really ensure that our compensation plan is top-notch. So if you want to partner with doTERRA, we kind of figure out what's the best path for you, right? So when people come to me and say, "Hey, I just want to get my oils paid for," then there is a track for that. We set up a 30, 60, and 90-day plan. And what I tell them is, hey, if you can manage 3 to 5 hours, you can get your oils paid for. If you want to supplement your income, if someone comes to me and says that, then we kind of bump them up a little bit and see if they can work 10 to 15 hours a week. And then that would get them anywhere between the elite range and the gold range. After about 2 years, they could easily be making $4,000 to $5,000 a month. So doTERRA pays out in 5 different ways. The first way, and I think most people are shocked by this check, is the fast pay. They help a friend get oils, they get 20% of that check. So let's just say Patty helped Sue. Patty would get 20% of everything that Sue bought for the next 60 days. And then every time Sue helped somebody, then Sue would get the 20%, and then Patty would get the 10% of that. And it kind of keeps going 3 levels deep, so that they get a check every Wednesday for the first 60 days, every single time a new person comes into doTERRA. And right now we're at 8.9 million people. And that is an astounding number for 13 years or 12 years into the business. They also have Power of 3 bonuses, which I call paying it forward. I have not met one person that doesn't know 3 people who need oils in their life. And once you start getting 3 people to use the oils along with you and create your own little group of friends, your little community of accountability partners, then you guys start to earn those oils for free. Because when they do that, in turn, you get a $250 bonus. And when they help their 3 friends, you get a $1,500 bonus. every single month on top of all the other bonuses. And that's a significant increase in income for anyone. So for us, we've been doing the business for just at, I want to say it was like 35 months when we hit platinum. And we love this job. I feel like it is much more of a self-development type company. You kind of self-realize who you are and what you want in life, and that you are made to build your own dreams and not build somebody else's. So this is my question to you. Are you hauling buckets? Trading your time for dollars? Are you living the American dream of work really hard, go to school for a really long time, work hard, and then retire and after 40 years and hopefully live on that 40% of your retirement, of your, your money, your retirement, and hopefully have your health? Or are you going to build some dreams? You're going to build a pipeline. All right. So I appreciate all of your time. Hopefully that didn't take a ton of your time. You know I'm passionate about it. My whole goal is to reach 10,000 people, and you guys are a part of that. My goal isn't to reach them by myself. My goal is to help you realize the potential and how amazing this opportunity is, and just being able to build what your dreams are. So is it worth your time to put a little extra time in now and work hard now so that you can live later like not many people get to live? All right, guys. So thank you for coming. You know I love your faces, even though I didn't get to see a lot of them tonight. Some of you have your camera off. Next time, wear your pajamas.